I pulled the covers over my face, burning with shame and fury. Before getting married, I was used to wearing loose, comfortable pajamas. After marrying Qin Ziheng, I naturally stuck to what felt good. I never expected Qin Ziheng to walk in at a time like this and see me in this disheveled state. The phone screen was still on, Lin Zhaoyi's enlarged face still visible. She had obviously seen the scene through the camera, and was now wide-eyed, her mouth forming an O shape, before bursting into uproarious laughter. Come on. You the way you looked just now. It was Qin Ziheng blushed. I swear I saw it. The crown prince of the capital, who's decisive and ruthless, actually ran away like a blushing, inexperienced boy. I buried myself under the covers, my voice choked with tears. Zhaoyi, stop laughing. No, I'm not laughing. Lin Zhaoyi said this, but her shoulders were still shaking. But Anan, I feel like something is off. Didn't the bullet comment say HES liked you for over 10 years? The reaction just now didn't seem like dislike at all. It looked more like shyness. I poked my head out from under the covers, my mind in a jumble. Just then, another line of bullet comments floated before my eyes. Female leap, baby. That hat tilt of yours earlier was absolutely lethal. The crown prince's hands were trembling. He stole several glances at you by the closet, completely unable to look away. Is this the legendary words don't match actions? Pretends to be cold outside, but at home seeing his wife dressed like that, his soul practically flew away. High alert ahead. The crown prince's documents are upside down. He wasn't reading the content at all, it was just an excuse to go in and look at you. Documents upside down? I suddenly remembered Kinzi. Cheng's stiff posture earlier and his hurriedly retreating back. My heart began to pound uncontrollably. What if it was all true? What if he didn't hate me, but because he liked me too much, he didn't dare get close? Those nourishing soups? That cold face, were they all just clumsy disguises? An Anne? Lin Zhaoyi called me on the phone. Why aren't you saying anything? Have you figured it out? I don't know. I bit my lip, my heart feeling as if a bottle of mixed flavors had been overturned. But if he really likes me, why doesn't he tell me? Why use this method? You just don't get it. Men, especially those high minus and minus mighty ones, have strong egos. Maybe HES afraid of being rejected by you. That's why he deliberately acts like he hates you. Lin Zhaoyi spoke with the air of a seasoned veteran. Listen to me and Anne. Take the initiative. Since you have the bullet comment cheat code, be a bit bolder. Take the initiative. I looked at myself in the mirror and took a deep breath. Perhaps it was time to break this deadlock. I hung up the video call with Lin Zhaoyi, got out of bed, and changed my clothes. Though I was still a bit nervous inside, thinking of the hints from the bullet comments gave me a bit more confidence. I walked out of the bedroom and tiptoed to the door of the guest room. The door was slightly ajar, a sliver of light seeping through. Mustering my courage, I gently knocked on the door. Come in. Qin Cheng's voice came, betraying no emotion. I pushed the door open and saw him sitting at the desk, holding the upside minus down documents. His back was straight, but it radiated tension. I began, my voice trembling slightly. Thank you for not interrupting my video call with my friend earlier. Qin Cheng's fingers tightened on the documents. He didn't look back. The air seemed to freeze. I gritted my teeth and took 2 steps forward. Actually, I was dressed a bit too casually earlier. Sorry, you had to see that. Qin Cheng's body visibly stiffened. The knuckles of his fingers gripping the documents turned white. It's happening. The female lead is starting her advance. The crown prince can't hold on much longer. Look, his ears are bright red. The documents are upside down again. He hasn't read a single word. Is this the legendary play hard to get? Female lead baby is so cute. Bullet comments scrolled rapidly before my eyes. Looking at Qin Cheng's flushed earlobes, a surge of unprecedented courage welled up in my heart. I walked around the desk and stood in front of him. Qin Ziheng. I called his name directly. He finally looked up. Those usually deep, cold eyes now seemed to hide a fire. When they met mine, he flinched, wanting to look away in a panic. "What is it?" he asked, his voice a bit hoarse. I looked at him and suddenly smiled. "What do you think?" I bent down, placing both hands on the desk, trapping him in my shadow. "I heard that you come home at exactly 8 every day because your wife makes a fuss." Qin Chang's breathing clearly became ragged. Looking at me so close, his Adam's apple bobbed, his lips moved, but no words came out. Close, so close, so... Female-led baby is so brave. Is this the legendary turning the tables? The crown prince is about to faint. Look at his eyes, he looks like he wants to divide the female lead baby. This isn't coldness, it's clearly pent up frustration. Seeing him like this, the grievance and anxiety in my heart instantly vanished without a trace, replaced by an unprecedented sweetness and excitement. So, he didn't just fight me. He had been waiting for me all along. I reached out and gently touched his cheek, feeling the scalding heat beneath my palm. "Qin Zihang," I said softly. "From now on, you're not allowed to hide from me anymore." His gaze finally stopped avoiding me. Instead, it looked deeply into my eyes, as if trying to draw me in completely. "Okay," he finally replied, his voice low and firm. In that instant, I felt as if I heard the sound of flowers blooming. It's complete. It's complete. I knew it. This is the correct way to open it. The Crown Prince finally doesn't have to live like an ascetic anymore. Congratulations, female lead baby, for successfully winning over the Crown Prince of the capital. Looking at these joyous, cheering bullet comments, I smiled and leaned into Qin Zihang's embrace. So happiness had been there all along. I just hadn't realized it before. Full monoscreen PDA, a public execution. The next day, the Qin Corporation annual shareholders meeting. This meeting was always the headline of the financial section in the capital's news, and this year, with rumors of a major strategic restructuring Qin Zihang was about to announce, it garnered even more attention. To ensure the professionalism and seriousness of the live broadcast, the meeting venue strictly barred all irrelevant personnel, but I still came. To be precise, I was invited by Qin Zihang's personal assistant. The reason was that Mr. Qin hadn't slept well last night and was in good form today. He needed me, his family member, to bring him a cup of calming tea and, by the way, comfort him. Holding that carefully prepared cup of calming tea, I stood in the hallway outside the conference room, looking at the heavy mahogany doors, my heart pounding. "Miss Anne, please." The assistant opened the door and stepped aside to let me in. Steeling myself, I kept my head down, trying not to make a sound, intending to quietly place the tea by Qin Zihang's side and then leave. However, fate loves to play jokes. I had just stepped through the door, hadn't even had time to see the situation inside, when I heard a thunderous round of applause. I instinctively looked up and to see the huge live broadcast screen directly ahead. On the screen, centered, was Qin Zihang's handsome, stern face. He was about to start speaking, and my face, due to my position, had popped out from behind his side, though only half was visible. The iconic almond-shaped eyes and slightly parted lips were clearly visible in the high-definition shot. The entire live stream exploded instantly. "Who is that? Is that Mrs. Qin?" "Mrs. Qin has appeared. The woman behind the Crown Prince. What am I seeing? I ship it. I ship it." Did the corner of the Crown Prince's mouth twitch? He smiled. Bullet comments instantly flooded the screen, too fast for the eye to follow. At the conference table, a senior director with considerable seniority clearly noticed the anomaly on the live broadcast screen. He adjusted his glasses, frowned, and spoke with a hint of displeasure. "Mr. Qin, the shareholders' meeting is the company's highest decision-making body. It is probably against the rules for irrelevant personnel to intrude." As soon as he finished speaking, the air in the entire conference room seemed to freeze. Everyone held their breath looking at Kim Zi-hang at the head of the table, waiting to see how he would handle this rule-breaking wife. Kim Zi-hang did not answer immediately. He slowly turned his head, his gaze crossing the conference table and accurately landing on me. There was not a hint of reproach in that gaze. Instead, it held a trace of indulgence. He stood up, took a long stride, and walked straight to me. The familiar scent of cold pine instantly enveloped me. "Why are you here?" His voice was very soft. Only the two of us could hear it, carrying a hint of morning hoarseness. "I brought you tea." I raised the thermos in my hand. Somewhat flustered, he took the cup. His slender fingers inadvertently brushed against my fingertips, carrying a slight warmth. He opened the lid and smelled it, the chill in his brow seeming to soften a little. "Thank you for the trouble." After saying that, he didn't let me leave. Instead, he turned, took me to the side of the head seat at the conference table, and sat back down. He didn't return to the stern Mr. Kin mode from before. Instead, he placed the teacup by his side, and then, in front of all the shareholders and the live broadcast cameras, picked up the microphone. "Director Wang is right. The shareholders' meeting does indeed require seriousness." As soon as he said this, everyone thought he was going to reprimand me. I could even feel the sympathetic glances from those around me. However, Kim Zi-hang's next words made everyone, including the millions of netizens in the live stream, drop their jaws. But my wife is an exception. He turned his head slightly, looked at me, and a faint but extremely gentle curve appeared at the corner of his mouth. "She came today to make sure I drink water on time, and also to see if her husband is being eaten alive by you wolves." The room fell deathly silent. The bullet comments in the live stream had become a sea of HAHA, ISHIPIT. Director Wang was dumbfounded, speechless for a long time. But Kim Zi-hang acted as if he didn't see everyone's reaction. He looked back at the microphone, his tone returning to its usual steadiness, but with an added touch of undeniable authority. "Also, I'll take this opportunity to say something. From now on, for all official Kind Corporation events, my wife has the highest priority access. Her opinion is my opinion. Her safety is my personal responsibility." He paused, his gaze seeming to pierce through the screen, looking at everyone watching the live stream. "Team Corporation values family. And I, Kim Zi-hang, love my wife very much." After saying that, he put down the microphone, ignoring the stunned gazes of the entire room. Instead, he turned, took a piece of candy from his pocket, unwrapped it, and held it to my lips. "You didn't sleep well last night. Have a candy to perk you up. After the meeting, I'll take you to that dim sum place you love." I stared dumbly at him, then looked at the shareholders around me whose jaws had practically hit the floor, and the screen scrolling wildly with ISHIPIT. Suddenly, it all felt like a dream. I opened my mouth and took the candy. The sweetness spread on my tongue, carrying a hint of minty coolness, but it was sweeter than any candy. Looking at him, I couldn't help but laugh, and the bullet comments on the screen became even more lively. Is this the legendary public execution? I'm so jealous. The crown prince is too smooth. I'm stuffed with this wave of dog food." Director Wang's expression. "I bet he has never seen a boss who protects his wife like this in his life. Is this love?" I announce, "I'm off the market." Just kidding. Female-led baby is so happy. Is this the joy of winning over the crown prince of the capital? The meeting continued. Kim Zi-hang started explaining the strategic restructuring plan, professional and composed, and I sat by his side, holding the tea he had drunk, looking at his focused profile, listening to those sweet bullet comments in my ear, my heart filled with an unprecedented sense of steadiness and happiness. So, this is what it feels like to be publicly favored.